Hello and welcome back to Vintage Treasures, and today I'm going to do something I've never done before, and that is open one of these retro re-releases. This one happens to be one of the 40 years of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course referring to their first appearance in the comics, not so much the 87 cartoon, although that is coming in a couple years. Anyways, I'm going to open this because, as you can see, this figure right here is is lacking in the accessory field. He has one of his accessories. I actually looked into it. That might not actually be his. It might be a color variation. If you do know where that's from, maybe it's from one of the later releases where they were reusing the accessory molds. If you do know where that's from, drop it in the comments. So he is a little discolored, and his mitt thing here, the thing Shredder has been glued on. But this one's actually from my childhood, so I was looking to get a set of accessories for him so I could finally get him complete. And since they re-released these, and the accessories are very close, I figured, why not put them on my original and see how it looks. Hopefully, and I can't see why it wouldn't, that belt will fit on him, and the accessories will obviously fit in his hand. And it'll be great to have a full set of accessories for my original Slash figure. So let's take this X-Acto knife and very carefully take the new carded version off of his card back. Alright, and let's free this thing from its plastic prison. Take him out there. Something I know a lot of people have complained about. Two things majorly for me, as far as the actual toy here goes, is I don't like these new green straps. I get it. They're more, biodegradable probably than the plastic straps, but it is very off-putting when you're looking at it, especially on a character like Shredder, where he's wearing a lot of purple, and that green just sticks out like a sore thumb, and not in a good way. Also, these barcodes are killing me, because you can't take them out because they're on the inside blister. So I wish they would stop doing that, but it's just something you're going to have to deal with, Playmates 2024. Actually, I just noticed they're using the plastic straps on the accessories. You can see right there. So I don't know why they wouldn't use those see-through plastic straps on the figure itself. So I got these out of the package, and I gotta say, even as a hardcore Turtles collector, these are very close. And besides a couple scuffs making it apparently obvious, this one is the vintage, this one's the re-release. And I have to say, because I have had several of these, this is the closest we've gotten to a one-to-one. Like, even down to the discoloration between his arms, head, and his torso. It is consistent through both of these figures, and that is just insane to me. Now, looking directly at this re-release right here, you can see it is very similar, but there is some issues I see with what Playmates has done here. First of all, that was like that on the bubble, if you saw in the beginning of the video. Yeah, that's just in the bubble like that, and that kind of, it's not necessarily an expensive collectible, but it's something they know is going to be in the collector's market, so that's a little disappointing. So I've taken his belt off, and I mean, other than that, he is in pretty good condition, but it should be new considering I bought him new. And looking here, we can see the new accessories along with the vintage accessories. Now, of course, Slash never had accessories in black, but these were reused molds for Toka from the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And they're the same exact mold, and as you can see, looking at this knife here, it is pretty consistent throughout. I'm not sure if they use the same exact molds, but it is close enough. I think a collector would be hard-pressed to know which one is vintage and which one's new. Obviously, if they were the same color. But consistently, You can see here. The only thing I did notice is there's some flashing. There's some flashing on the ends of the newer knife right there, if you can see. Nothing major, just something small I noticed, but I can't nitpick too much. These are pretty darn good accessory recreations. And here we have the vintage figure with his accessories. We have his, I'm not sure what these are called, but I'll put them on screen. We have that thing. These are nunchucks, obviously. And we have a sai back there that fits in there pretty good. There's not necessarily a good way to put his knife on him. Try to put it in his belt, and it didn't work out. And I don't want to break it, obviously. I might figure out a way, but this looks freaking great. A diehard collector would find a hard time trying to decipher if this is or isn't reproduction accessories for a slash. And that belt, by the way, that is a reproduction. I say reproduction, but it's more of a re-release. So these kind of scare me in a way, and I'll tell you why. The reason that accessories this accurate scare me is because it will be hard to tell whether or not these are original or not, and that scares me as a collector because any person could get a completely incomplete figure and complete them with new accessories and sell it for what a vintage complete one would sell for. Looking at this knife here, this sai, compared to the vintage, you can see they are very, very, very similar, down to the bit here being bent and this being bent another way, and then that thing on the tip of the sai there. It's really hard to tell, even looking at the material. It's like bendable plastic. Now this is a bit more pliable, but that just might be because it's newer, not necessarily because it's made of a different plastic. So that scares me as a collector to buy new figures, well, new to me at least, new vintage figures, complete, and not find out, rather, that they are reproduction accessories on a vintage figure, and that is just, it's not good for the toy market, and it's good for scammers, and anything that's good for scammers is not good for the toy market. Well, that was definitely an interesting experience. I wouldn't say it's surprising, because you can definitely see through the packaging, given that, the bubble is see-through. But it's a little scary being a collector, knowing that I could buy reproduction parts. I mean, you could barely tell these two apart. And the parts, it's even harder because they're not individually dated. So it's kind of, I'm curious to see how this is going to affect the toy market. Please drop in the comments how you think this will affect the toy market. I'm curious what you think. And today's question of the day, which incarnation of Slash is your favorite? It could be the comics, even the Archie comics, the 2012 series, or just a classic 1987 Slash, and I knocked one of them over. So drop your favorite incarnation of Slash in the comments. And have a great rest of your day or night, and goodbye.